All right. Here we are. All right. So let's start the day because I just gave a class and I didn't record the class. Huh? So this is basically starting the day. So let's start the day by giving charity. 1 second, 1 minute. Here we go. Here we go. We give them charity.
You forgot
Charities.
to record the last class?
I didn't record it.
Oh, wow.
Terrible. What can we do? I enjoyed giving the class. I thought I said some nice things, but we'll keep it between us. And then I'll have to do it again. Okay, here we go. Here, giving charity. Good charity saves from death. Charity saves from all the things which are bad. How much more so change from it will bring the future redemption. Okay. Woo, now we are learning a speech of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. God willing, I'll record that. I'll have to do it later. I'll re-record that class. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Huh? Won't be boring. The topics were very interesting. Were amazing. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we have a speech given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1991. This is on Passover 1991. And in it, he talks about the fact that Moshiach is supposed to be here. Again, let's just get everything straight. The purpose of the creation of the world is to bring Moshiach, to reveal the Creator in His creation, to reveal how precious the creation, every detail of it is to the Creator, and how important every human being is, how important the Jewish people are, and we're chosen to teach the whole world this. And that's what Mashiach is going to do. Mashiach will activate all the Jewish people to act like Jews, according to the Torah and the commandments. And the Jews will activate the whole entire world to believe in the God of Israel, who's the creator of the whole universe, who's creating everybody. Everyone will start to think about how fortunate they are that they're being created and to want to serve the Creator, to show some thanks to God. And then new potential will be revealed. All the potential which was hidden inside of every human being will be revealed. There won't be war. There won't be even disease. There won't be all the negative things in the world. The world will be a different world. Well, this all depends on Mashiach coming, and it's supposed to come any moment. Says the Rebbe, any moment is much closer than you can possibly think. And the whole world is pointing to it. Everything is pointing to it. Every rock on the street, every cloud in the sky, every breath that we take, every move we make, everything is pointing to this, yelling out, screaming out, Mashiach is coming any second now, any second now. And the Rebbe, in the last few days, we went over this, the Rebbe brought examples. It's a little bit bigger. Let's see 1 second. Of how it is in the days of the month. For instance, we're in the month of Nissan. The month of Nissan is the month we were redeemed from Egypt. We will be redeemed in the future. Then we talked about the date of the month. When the Rebbe was saying this, it was the 28th day, which is Koach, the power. And he talked about the days before that and the days after that, and how the numerical value of those days indicates Mashiach is going to come. Also says the Rebbe that the Torah portion that we're in was Shmini. Shmini is talking about the number 8, which number 8 is indicative of the covenant between the Jewish people and God. Something eternal. And also says that the harp of the Mashiach, it says, is in the Holy Temple. The harp had 7 kinor. Kinor is some sort of harp or something, a lute, whatever it's called. Is had 7 strings, and the Mashiach is going to have 8 strings. This all has tremendous spiritual repercussions, but nevertheless, the Mashiach is going to come and change the whole world. Be good, and it has to be any moment now. It says the Rebbe, here's even another indication. Now we are in the days of Sfirat Omer. Sfirat Omer. But for those who don't know what that is, there's a commandment in the Torah to count the 50 days, 49 actually of the days, 49 of the 50 days between Passover and the holiday of Shavuot. Shavuot is called, what's it called? There's a word for it, but in English, how do they call it? Pentecost or something? I don't know. Anyway, they're called the Feast of Weeks. And why? Because it's 7 weeks. There's 7 weeks between Passover and Shavuot. Shavuot is when we received the Torah. And when the Jews got out of Egypt, 50 days later, they received the Torah. So we count all those days. That's called counting the Omer. The Omer was a bundle of barley that they brought in the time of the Holy Temple. But even when they left Egypt and they didn't offer up this barley, they still had this commandment of counting each one of the days. So now we're in these days of called Sfirot Omer, the days of counting the Omer, the days which are between the holiday of Passover, which is the time of our freedom, and the holiday of Shavuot, when we received the Torah. As Yetziat Mitzrayim, going out of Egypt, was in order to receive the Torah. Right? I mean, I'm sure you all know the story in Judaism that the Jews were, that the Jews were taken out of Egypt, and that they miraculously, with all these big miracles, and God split the sea, and then he took them to Mount Sinai. There was about 3 million Jews. It says there were 600,000 just men from the age of 20 and up, or 20 and 60. And it was the 600,000. So that's not counting the women and the children. So if you count all of them, it comes out to be about 3 million people. So all 3 million people, they all saw and they all heard God give the Torah. Receiving the Torah. Namely, going out of Egypt to redemption, revelation of God. And the future redemption is going to be the completion of the giving of the Torah, the completion of freedom. It's going to be Torah Chadasha Me'iti Teitze. It says that there's a midrash that says there's going to be a new Torah that's going to come from God. Where's the midrash? Where do you have it? Here it is. Anyway, it's a midrash. There's a Vayikra Rabbah. It's a midrash in Vayikra. In Isaiah, there's a sense that the Torah was going to come out from me, and the midrash from the rabbis, right, of the Pharisees, they said not just Torah is going to come, but a new Torah. What does it mean, a new Torah? There's going to be the same laws, it's going to be exactly the same Torah with the same words, the same Torah. Not one letter is going to change, but we'll feel the godliness in everything. Feel the godliness. Especially, said the Rebbe, in this year, the Pesach falls on Shabbat. In fact, this year Pesach fell the day after Shabbat. But when the Rebbe was there, it fell on Shabbat was Pesach. But this year Pesach fell on immediately after Shabbat. Like it says in the Midrash, that 7 complete weeks. When will this be? When Passover falls on Shabbat. Then they'll start to count on the first day of the week, on Sunday. Then it'll be 7 complete weeks. In other words, the Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, will also come out on Shabbat. We begin to count on the first day of Shabbat, and we'll finish on Shabbat. Shavuot will fall on Shabbat. This year's Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, falls out on Sunday. Hainu she'inyan atamimos, that this completion will be a higher level of completion. Complete of the complete. In other words, 7 complete weeks, they'll be start on Shabbat and finish on Shabbat. This year, it's almost the same thing like that. Also, the future redemption in the days of the Sphira will be a complete redemption. This is special in the counting of the Omer in these days, especially in these days. Regarding counting the days of Omer, we come from counting the 12th day of the Omer. That was on the 27th day of Nissan. That's the 12th. By us, it'll be by us it'll be the 11th. One day later, because we started counting one day after the year that the Rebbe was speaking. This was 1991, and every year the Pesach can come on a different day. It doesn't have to come out always on the same day of the week. So the Rebbe said this corresponds to the 12 tribes. The Rebbe says he's speaking, the day that he's speaking is, no, actually, I'm sorry, I take that back. It'll be the same thing by us. The date of the month always corresponds to the number of the Omer. Always corresponds to the number of the Omer. So he says, this corresponds, we just finished the 12th day we were counting. That corresponds to the 12 tribes, which that's the sum total of all of the Jewish people, including all the Jewish people, that's going to be revealed in the future redemption. It says when they went out of Egypt, only 1/5 went out. But the future redemption says all the Jews are going to go out. All the Jews are going to go out of Egypt, even the ones that are protesting in Colombia against Israel, against the Jews, right? The biggest anti-Semitic Jews will all of a sudden twist around and say, hey, what am I doing? Even Jews that they don't know that they're Jews. Not like in Russia, there's Jews, they didn't even know they're Jews. Says the number 12 indicates all of the tribes, all of the Jewish people. And that comes to the day that the Rebbe was speaking, is the 28th day of Nissan, is the 13th day of the Omer. 13 is the numerical value of Echad, one. Like we say, God is one. And that day, God will be one and his name will be one. It says the days of God will be one and his name will be one. What's this? This is a prophecy in Isaiah, Zechariah, prophecy in Zechariah. God will be one, his name is one. Generally speaking, the name of God, that's the world. And God will be one with his name. God will be one with his name. And the day after that, that's what's going to be in the future redemption. So this is all hinting at something that's supposed to happen today, right now. It's right, supposed to be here now. This hints at the three, it says, also the 14th day is talking about the 14th day of the Omer. 14th day of the Omer is numerical value of 14. 14 is also the word yad, hand, speaking about the three hands that God took the Jews out of Egypt with. Yad chazaka, right? Yad chazaka, chazak yad, yad chazaka, yad rama, yad gadola. Three places it talks about the three hands that God took the Jews out of Egypt with a powerful hand, with an elevated, it says, the Am Yisrael yatsu b'yad rama, with a hand. And the Jewish people saw the Yad HaGadola, the big hand of God that's talking about going out of Egypt. And Mimenu, from it, we come to Sfirat Omer, counting the Omer of the 15th day of the Omer. 15, that indicates also on Mashiach. How? It's relevant to the, that's the date that the moon is full every month. The Jewish calendar goes according to the moon, and it's reset also according to the sun, once every 3 years, 4 years. Then the moon is complete. This is like the Jewish people, that they're like the moon. Anyway, says the Rebbe, I've given all of these signs, all of these indications, all of these clear, messages from God to us. In Mashiach is supposed to come any second, according to what we said before. So now we have this idea of the future redemption now. So now we have a big question. What's the big question? 1 second. What is the big question? What is the big question? Everything is so wonderful. It's so clear. Mashiach has to come. The world was created for Mashiach. The Torah promises us hundreds of times Mashiach is supposed to come and the Jewish people are all going to be gathered. All the prophets, every one of the prophets says it's going to happen. The Jewish people are going to come from all the four corners of the world. The third temple will be rebuilt. Over and over again, it's repeated. And here we have all these signs. You don't even have to look at the prophets. Look at the time. Just look at the day of the month. Look at the holiday that we're in. Everything is pointing to Mashiach. The Jews have been suffering for so long, waiting for the Mashiach. All this energy that's been put in, enough. Hey, how can it be that notwithstanding all these things we just said, nevertheless, the fact is Mashiach has not actually come, which is not understood at all. There's tremendous suffering in the world, tremendous ignorance in the world. Suffering spiritually, physically. Frustrations and wars and famine and poverty, disease. How can this be, says the Rebbe? In addition, there's something also which is also more amazing, that we're gathering now together 10 Jews. And at the time, now we're in propitious times that are relevant to the redemption, like he just explained. the 28th day. We're in the middle of the month of Nissan. We're counting the Omer. How can it be the 10 Jews get together, ve'enu marishim, and they don't make any noise about bringing Mashiach immediately? By them, it's not, how do you say, it's not inconceivable, and it's acceptable. God forbid that the Mashiach won't come immediately. And even tomorrow he won't come. Mashiach will come when he wants to come. And also the day after that. No, whenever Mashiach wants to come, he'll come. It doesn't have to be today. He'll come tomorrow. He'll come the day afterwards. Says the Rebbe, God forbid, how can a person think like that? Even when we yell out, he's talking to the Hasidim. He's talking to his followers. He's not talking to the not-religious people in the street. He's demanding from his own followers, from the Hasidim. They're standing there and they read all the speeches of the Rebbe. Even now when we scream out, how long is it going to be Ad Masai? How long is it going to be in the exile? The only reason we're doing this is because I told them to do it. And if they really intended, really, truly, then certainly Mashiach already would have come. Says the Rebbe, the problem is that people don't really want Mashiach. Now, who is the Rebbe talking to? The Rebbe was talking to me and people that are like me, people that are better than me, people that are more... people that have made Chabad houses and they've given up everything they have, right? And their comfort and their this, and they bring their families to these weird places where there's no Jewish education, there's no kosher food, and that's only to bring Mashiach. Says the Rebbe, the fact of the matter is okay, you're doing really good things and you're saying really good things, but it's not what you really want. Ma'ud Yochalani, what more can I do, says the Rebbe? Kadesh Kol Bnei Israel, that all the Jewish people should make noise, they should yell out, truthfully. And they should bring about Mashiach actually. After all that's been done up to now, all the suffering of the Jewish people, all of the self-sacrifice of all the Rebbes, it didn't help. And what's the proof that it didn't help? So we're still found in exile. And the main thing is we're found in an internal exile. I mean, in serving God. We don't really pray. We don't really do the commandments. We don't really. I mean, we're trying our best. Says the Rebbe, no, you're not. So the Rebbe says, what can I do? The only thing I can say is, I'm giving it to you. Asu kol masher bechaltechem. What's the Rebbe saying? The Rebbe even added something here that they didn't actually include here. The Rebbe said, excuse me, everything that I've done is for naught. It had no results. Lo heal, it didn't help. It said, Lahevel Lurik, very, very severe words. The Hasidim were just really like startled. The only thing I can say, says the Rebbe, is, I'm giving it over to you. I've done everything I can, says the Rebbe. You have to do everything within your ability. Now, in this, there's a command, but there's also a promise, and there's also a blessing. And that we can do everything we can. Things which are the lights of Tohu. In other words, do crazy things, but they have to be Bekil and Tikkun. They have to be done in a normal way. Difficult? Of course. Nobody said life is going to be easy. There's a famous story about someone came to I've heard so many versions of the story, but this is the one I heard first. Someone came to the Rebbe and said, I think it was passing by the Rebbe for dollars. And he said, Rebbe, I have an idea that every Jewish family, if I'm not mistaken, there's a video of this. That's where I saw it. He said that every Jewish family should leave one share open at this Passover Seder night. This was right before Passover, to remind us of the Jews that are caught in Russia, that they can't come, that one share is empty because of the Jews that are unable to come, they're not free to serve God. And the Rebbe said, well, it's a good idea. Why are you talking to me? And he said, because you're a very popular person, a very influential person. Your word has a big effect. If you tell everyone to do it, then it should be a very good thing to do. What do you think? So the Rebbe said, I think it's an excellent idea. But just with one thing, I don't think that the chair should be empty. everyone should have an empty chair, and then you should go out into the street and convince somebody that's not keeping Passover to come and keep Passover by you. So the man looked at the Rebbe and said, Rebbe, that's a very difficult thing to do. That's a very difficult, to leave a chair is something you can convince people to do, to tell people to go out in the street and bring people. That's a very difficult thing to do. It's not going to. So the Rebbe said, who said life has to be easy? Who said Judaism is easy? Who said, that's what the Rebbe is saying. I've done everything I can to bring Mashiach. Now you have to do crazy things to bring Mashiach, but it has to be normal. It has to be done in a normal way that it doesn't step on anybody's toes, and it doesn't matter. Of course, no matter what you do, it's going to step on somebody's toes. But it has to be done in a way that's done with love and pleasantness, and you have to also be sure that what you're doing is something, you can't have go out and take off your shirt in the middle of the street or something, or make a tattoo, I want Mashiach now on your forehead. You have to do something that's according to the Torah. For sure it's according to the Torah. But on the other hand, it has to be wild, something that hasn't been done, and you have to do it, and it has to be done in a proper way. It's hard to do. Nobody said Judaism is going to be easy. This will bring the future redemption, that it won't be future. It'll be right now. May it be God's will. It's the Sof called Sof. There was one person that he didn't like the Lubavitcher Rebbe. It doesn't have to go into the details. He was very outspoken about it. And someone came and asked him, what have you got against the Lubavitcher Rebbe exactly? I mean, have you read what he wrote? Is that you found something wrong in his writings? So I didn't read what he wrote, and I'm not going to read what he wrote. He says, what's your problem with him? He said, because he sits in Brooklyn and he makes the whole world crazy. I says, the man was exactly right. It's not a reason to hate him, but it sure is a reason to, to take big notice. He wants you to change yourself. He wants everybody to be crazy. It's called Shtut Shel Kedusha. Wants everybody to be crazy, but not to be crazy on your terms. You have to be crazy on the Rebbe's terms, according to Torah. May it be God's will. And like we just finished learning in the Maimar that I didn't record, you have to go out of yourself. You have to force yourself to do more. Do more good. Do less bad. Don't do bad at all. Don't lose your temper. Don't get depressed. Don't be lazy. But force yourself also to do more good. Pray a little bit more, give a little more charity. May it be God's will that, and finally, after Sof Kol Sof, in the end, finally, Yimsu Asara, maybe there'll be 10 Jews. They'll be stubborn. And they have to do, that they have to bring by God, and certainly they will do this to God. They will do, because God wants to bring the future redemption. Ki am kashe orafu, like it says, the Jewish people are a stiff-necked people. It's a good thing. They're stiff-necked. They're stubborn. We've been trying to bring Mashiach for 2,000 years, and we've been suffering. It didn't work. Be stubborn. Be stubborn. Don't let any of the negative things impress you, says the Rebbe. Therefore, when the Jewish people worship the golden calf, so Moses said to God, listen, the Jewish people are a stiff-necked people, right? God wanted to wipe them all out. God said, I'm going to wipe out all the Jewish people. And Moses said, don't do it. The Jewish people are a stiff-necked people. What do you mean stiff-necked people? As soon as they make a decision to do good, then nothing in the world will stop them. They're stiff-necked people. And therefore, forgive them, salachta, forgive them all their sins and all their transgressions and all their, their mistakes. We have to bring the redemption truthfully right now, immediately. Okay, in order to make this thing come fast, the Zohar is even more. We have to shali osif beten. I will continue and give to each one of you money, $1. God, the Rebbe said, I'm going to give you $1, and everyone should take this $1 and give it to charity. And because charity is great, because it makes the redemption come close. That's why we start every day the class with charity. And I said to Rebbe, I've done what I can. From now on, I'm giving it up to you. You have to do everything as though I wasn't here. Do it all. May it be God's will that you will concern one person, 2 people, 3 people, that they'll find some sort of plan, what to do and how to do it, and even more, that they'll actually bring the future redemption in actuality. Take of him yad immediately. And as I said, it's not an easy task the Rebbe is asking us to do. He's asking us to be crazy, but it has to be totally according to the Torah. Totally according to the Torah. To be crazy is not that difficult. Not that difficult. There's all these promises what's going to be when Mashiach comes, and there's this. So you can say, well, I'm going to treat it that way. Adam didn't have any clothes on. Maybe before the sin, they didn't. Maybe I won't take. All sorts of insane things a person could do, but they have to be according to the Torah. And if you do things that are really true, for instance, loving every Jew without any limitation, trying to convince other Jews in a pleasant way to put on tefillin, inviting people in to learn more Torah, right? Going out of your way to invite people to learn Torah, liking people that hate you, things that are totally not normal, right? Giving more charity than what you want, giving more time to learning, more time to prayer, more time to others. Shtut to Kedusha, that's what's going to change the world. So the Rebbe wants to activate us, but activate us in a way that'll make us crazy to bring Mashiach now. Okay, stop this year. Yeah, let's not today. 1 second. Oh, so I stopped him.